Ians. That's my introduction to this. So this is part two of what if my favorite players played for my favorite team. If you didn't watch part one, I'll just let you know right now. We lost in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs by 2 points. We lost 16 to 14. And then part two of the challenge was after making the team with my favorite players on it, or at least most of my favorite players, and then just some guys I like. We'll make the team. We originally had 73 players. We got it down to 53, and now, after losing in the first season, for season two, We took the Chiefs playbook because they beat us, and we kept our defense because we held them under 20 points. So we're gonna originally what I was going to do was is if I didn't win the Super Bowl, I was gonna take the two teams that made the Super Bowl, take their playbooks, and see if that would help me win in year two with my team. We went 14-3. We won the conference the first year. Still made it to the Super Bowl. Lost to the Chiefs. We didn't get that cool follow-up story. You know how like the Lions beat the Chiefs by one at the beginning of the year and then beat them in the Super Bowl. Obviously, that didn't happen in real life because we lost to the 49ers. But it would have been a cool story. But no, after we beat them by one, they doubled down. They beat us by two. So this year we beat them by three. That's my goal. Beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl by a field goal. But in case you're wondering what the team looks like, here I'll just show you real quick. Part two is going to be very short, and then part three is going to be the rebuild if need be. Oh, David Montgomery's hurt. He'll be back in a week. So we have Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, Tua Tagovailoa, Samir Gibbs, David Montgomery, James Conner, Amon Ra, Michael Pittman Jr., Donald Peoples-Jones, Mike Evans, Jameson Williams, Khalif Raymond. TJ Hawkinson's back in Detroit. We have Sam Laporta, Brock Wright, Penei Sewell, Michael Onwenu, Jordan Mailata, Taylor Decker, Shaq Mason, Frank Ragnow, Kobe Sorsdale, and Tristan Wirfs on the offensive line. Defensively, we have Jamal Adams, Kirby Joseph. We have Hassan Reddick, Alex Anzalone, Juwan Bentley, Derek Barnes, my boy Jack Campbell, Levante David, Fodasan Aliticon. We have Buda Baker. We have James Houston, who is still playing at the outside linebacker. We have Malcolm Rodriguez. We have my boy Iffy. We have Darius Slay, Carlton Davis, Max Crosby, Emmanuel Ogba, DJ Reader, Ali McNeil, Broderick Martin. Aiden Hutchinson's hurt, but he'll be back shortly. Matthew Betts, the guy who got 18 sacks in the other league, who the Lions brought in, I thought was really, really cool. He's not really actually one of my favorite players per se. It's just one of those really interesting potential things that my team did that got my attention. So that's the only reason why I kept him. I'm not particularly going to say that he's one of my favorite players, but I thought it was really cool. We have AJ Terrell, Brian Branch, Mike Hilton as well. I don't know how Darius Slay got all the way down here, but he is. So that's the team we're running with. Clearly a good team, the best in the league. We were the best in the league last year. However, we still lost in the Super Bowl. So we'll do the same thing. We'll sim to midseason. Using the Chiefs playbook though, we should be better because we were a top five in practically everything. I mean, we were 7-6 for two of the defensive things, but as a team, we were good at everything except offensive passing yards. We were 23rd with Tua. So switching to the Chiefs offense, it's a lot more pass heavy, a lot less. In fact, we might be a little worse at running the ball. But let's get a gauge. So we're first in terms of scoring, which we were last year as well. We're 10th in terms of passing the ball, which is an upgrade from 23rd. So instead of being 23rd at throwing the ball, we're now 22nd at running the ball. But again, if we throw the ball that much more, okay, you run the ball less, whatever. 7th in terms of points, I think that's roughly where we were last year. Defensive passing yards, we were 6th last year. Right now we're 11th, and we are the best run stop in the league. And we haven't lost a game yet with the Chiefs offense. The Lions defense, keeping the Lions defense overtaking the Chiefs defense, ultimately looks like it was a good idea. Let's quickly do that one more time. We'll start Gibbs over Monty. I don't really know if that matters that much. Oh, Aiden, you're still hurt, Aiden? Aiden, you okay, bud? Oh, Aiden's out for the year. Damn. Alright, well, that's one of my favorite defensive players who's out for the year. I mean, 9 games. Yeah, that's basically the rest of the year. Fortune Littlecon's hurt too. Damn. Yeah, what do we do about that? I mean, Alex Anzalone can start. That's not really a big deal. Uh, I could play around with the idea of starting Levante David. I might just do that, to be honest with you. Just move Jack Campbell. I'd rather start Jack Campbell. Move you up here. Yeah, that looks fine. Darius Big Place lay in the slot. Yeah, I'm going to just do this. I keep injuries on. Football's football. Injuries happen. We get a trade offer for Lee McNeil. That's interesting. I'm not going to trade him. He is, if not my favorite D tackle in the league, my second. Xavier Howard, no. I wouldn't consider any of these guys players I like more than Ali McNeil. I mean, some of them are decent. Like, Johnson's alright. Darnell Mooney is cool. I mean, Josh Sweat's interesting. Decent players, but none of which I'm actually in a mood to trade for. Well, I'm not rebuilding just yet. If we do have to rebuild, then that's going to be next season. Just give him all of the money so he doesn't walk and make my life a living hell. Because if we do have to rebuild last year, I want my players to be paid. Are we really going to have to do this? Alright, fine. Yeah, making money is going to be annoying. Just make sure we pay everybody real quick. Well, if we do have to do a rebuild season, then I'm probably going to have to move on from James Houston. Probably going to have to move on from Iffy, Barnes. Probably going to have to move on from everybody here, except for, obviously, you. We take the option on Aiden Hutchinson. We take the option on Jameson Williams when the times come. And then Ali McNeil would have to get paid. And then to do so, we would just restructure some contracts. So under the impression that I do need to do a part 3, which I might just do a part 3 anyway, just for the sake of doing a rebuild element to the video. Let me just restructure a few contracts. Who's taking up the most money right now? Hassan Riddick, I literally just signed you to a new contract. That's why you're taking up so much money. If I was to restructure your contract, yeah, that'd put us in the negatives for next year. We need money next year. So I guess that doesn't really help now that I think about it. TJ Hawkinson is not making a single penny. I don't even know why he's not making a single penny. But he loves it here, I guess. Can you restructure the guy who's on a player option? No. There's no point in me putting you on IR because you'll be back literally the game right before the playoffs. So I'm not going to bother doing anything with that. I'm just going to sim the rest of the season now. If moves have to get made next year, we will. Because that's going to be the actual rebuild element to the video. I mean, we have an astounding amount of picks as well. At that point, it's just going to be simming until we win a Super Bowl. But we went 16-1. That's as close as you can go to a 17-0 season. So, without being 17-0 for sure. So, number 1 in terms of scoring, number 1 in terms of passing the ball, 24th in terms of running the ball. We had the best defense in terms of allowing points. Our pass defense got significantly worse throughout the year. We went all the way down to 29th. So we stopped being able to pass defend for some reason, and we can't run the ball, which makes sense. We switched to the Chiefs. We'd be running a lot more. We'd be throwing a lot more than running, so that makes a lot of sense. What happened to our defense, though? Did specifically pass coverage? What happened there? Where's DJ Reader? Well, DJ Reader's now hurt, I guess. And somehow we can't stop pass coverage, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Amon-Ra's hurt. That sucks. But, I mean, we still have the best team in football. This is a team of my favorite players, so we should still be able to win. With how good this team is, with the Chiefs' offense and with our defense, we lose to the Panthers. That's a slap in the face if we lose to the Panthers. Okay, we beat them. And the Cowboys are a good team. I don't know if I'd necessarily say they're better than us, though. But I'm sure they probably have better pass coverage. And given our situation, they more than likely have better pass coverage. And we get our Super Bowl rematch against the Chiefs. Love to see it. So, before we simulate this game, notably we have the better team. We lost them last year anyway. But with their offense instead of our offense, maybe we'll beat them because their run defense is very good. Let's just compare some stuff to the rest of the league. Tua threw 44 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Goff and Stafford unfortunately didn't get to play because Tua never got hurt. I mean, I guess it's kind of a good thing though. Jahmyr Gibbs, 17 touchdowns on the year for Jahmyr Gibbs. For how pass heavy this team is, he had 17 rushing touchdowns, not even 17 touchdowns in total, including like receiving touchdowns. So Jahmyr Gibbs really went off in this offensive scheme, getting obviously not 1,000 yards, but who cares? He got 17 touchdowns. Montgomery got involved quite a bit. Tua ran a few times. James Conner got involved as well. We didn't really use JMO or Amon-Ra in the run scheme, but that's fine. TJ Hawkinson led the team in receiving yards and got 14 touchdowns. So, former Detroit Lion right there. That's what I'd be doing in franchise mode, just passing the ball to TJ Hawkinson. Michael Pittman Jr. got in 1,000 yards. Amon-Ra, 12 touchdowns and 1,000 yards, just about. Mike Williams. Not Mike Williams. I call him Mike Williams. Mike Evans. My boy Mike Evans is going off. Sam Laporta has a good season. Like, I know comparatively to real life he did better than this, but for how much for the first tight end in front of him to have 14 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards, 400 yards roughly, and 335 is not 400, but you get the point I'm making. A decent amount of yards and 4 touchdowns is not bad. Jahmyr Gibbs even gets 2 receiving touchdowns. JMO gets involved. Brock Wright gets involved. How? Apparently we have a 4th tight end now. And Kenny Ebo, he gets a touchdown. None for Donovan Peoples-Jones or for Khalif Raymond. That's all good. In terms of allowing sacks, our offensive line did pretty damn good. No complaints here. Kevin Zeitler did great. Levante David leads the team in tackles, getting 106. We get 25 sacks from Max Crosby. Yeah, that's what I would want from a guy in Detroit, getting 25 sacks. Hassan Reddick gets 7, 6.5 for Levante David. DJ Reader gets 3. A good amount of distribution of sacks, I'd say. Levante David gets 5 interceptions. Brian Branch gets 3. Buda Baker gets 3. AJ Terrell with 2. Jamal Adams with 2. Hassan Reddick and Darius Big Play Slay get involved. Justin Reed only misses 2 kicks, and Jack Fox is just a silver fox at punter. Looking at the yearly awards for year 2, I didn't do this year 1 because, well, we lost, and I didn't really think it was that necessary. We still could lose, to be honest with you. But Tua was 2nd in MVP. They gave it to Patrick Mahomes. Coach of the Year, Dan Campbell. Ayuk wins Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player is Micah Parsons. Well, we beat both of them. These guys are fake people. Brock Purdy wins Best Quarterback. Josh Jacobs wins Best Running Back. Brandon Ayuk wins Best Receiver. Chris Lindstrom, Best Offensive Lineman. Micah Parsons is there. Levante Davis wins Best Linebacker. Best DB is Fuanga. And Best Kicker is Joey Sly. And then just comparatively to the rest of the league, we'll just see who led in every individual statistic. And by individual, we'll talk about the main statistics, like, touchdowns and stuff. So who threw the most touchdowns? Most touchdowns was thrown by Pat Mahomes. He beat out Tua by 2. And Brock Purdy had probably the best ratio compared to everybody, 44-3, as opposed to 44-8 and 46-9. So, I mean, completion percentage of 74 is crazy. But, yeah, Purdy was there. Who threw the most picks? 21 by Jacoby Brissett, and then 20 by my boy Hendon Hooker. So, yeesh. All right. Most yards was Josh Jacobs with a lot. And Jahmyr Gibbs leads the league with touchdown numbers. That's crazy. Almost 1,900 yards for Josh Jacobs. Love to see it. Who broke the most tackles? 66 by Josh Jacobs. So Josh Jacobs was a tank. CeeDee Lamb with almost 1,900 yards, but I understand why they gave it to Brandon Ayuk. Not only did he catch about 1,400 yards, he also caught 22 freaking touchdowns. 22 touchdowns for Ayuk, 20 touchdowns for Josh Downs. That's an insane amount of touchdowns for Josh Downs. Josh Downs ain't bad, but 20 touchdowns is crazy. Rashee Rice gets 16. Devontae Smith gets 16. TJ Humphries, the guy who got cut by the Cardinals, for Jonah Jackson allowed the most sacks. Most tackles is Jelani Tavai. Most sacks is Max Crosby. Him and Micah Parsons both up there. Fuanga gets the most interceptions, but Levante David at 5 is a close one. Who forced the most fumbles? 2. Photos Analyticon. Nice. And Kayami Fairbank most kicks. Love to see it. So in our revenge game against the Chiefs, let's see if we get our revenge game against the Chiefs. And this time, unironically, we win by a field goal. Couldn't have planned it any better myself. Because I said it at the beginning of the video, and I was kind of just joking. But how ironic of a story is that? At the beginning of last year, the Detroit Lions in real life beat the Chiefs by 1 point. And in this simulation, at the end of the year for the Super Bowl, with my favorite team, with my favorite players, we lose to the Chiefs by 2. And then the following year, running it back, we face the Chiefs again in the Super Bowl, and we beat them by 3. The only way this could be more ironic is if after the rebuild season, if we play the Chiefs again in the Super Bowl and beat them by 4. Which I wouldn't imagine would happen. Also, we have 2 more new injuries. But anywho, we'll take a look at the game. We might make a part 3, which would be the... rebuild is a strong word for what we're actually going to be doing. We're more so going to just be retooling more than anything else. But we'll at least take a look at the final game, see how things went. Schedule. So these are the regular season games. Who did we lose to, by the way? We lost to the Packers. The only team we lost to this year was the Packers, and it was by 4. So there's that 4-point game right there. So maybe next year we'll beat the Packers by 5. Postseason, we'll beat the Panthers, beat the Cowboys, and then we face the Chiefs. So starting off the game, we actually couldn't beat the Chiefs. Starting off the game, we were losing 7-0. We really took advantage of the second and third quarter. Our offensive yards gained 415 to 376. We got them there. Offensive rush yards, neither of us really rushed very, very well. But, I mean, they were closer to 100 than we were. Offensive passing yards, they allowed 334. They weren't so good off with that. We had more first downs. We had more punt return yards. They had more turnovers. We had more third down conversions, though. And we had 2 fourth down conversions. So that's that Dan Campbell in me right there. 2-point conversions, they got 1, we got none. Red zone percentage, we were perfect in the red zone. We had 4 touchdowns in the red zone. Penalty yards. And we had more time of possession with the ball. We took our time. We had their offense, and we took more time with the ball, so really hit them where it hurt. Tua Tagovailoa, 334 yards with 1 passing touchdown. His longest pass of the day was 25 yards, and he also got sacked twice. But 80 completion percentage. He did all right. And then with the same offensive scheme, Mahomes threw 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 interceptions, which hurt him. And he only got sacked 1 time, so that's really not that bad. Pacheco ran all 84 yards on us. Well, they had 92 yards total, but he ran 84. Jahmyr Gibbs ran 64 yards and got a rushing touchdown. Monty ran 12 yards. Tua scrambled 5 times and picked up a touchdown. Pat Mahomes rushed 3 times. So they both got 8 yards, unironically. But only Tua was able to pick up the scrambling touchdown. Rashee Rice got his 90 yards on us. Michael Pittman Jr. got 82. TJ got 76 and a touchdown. Mike Evans got 59 yards. Travis Kelce got 2 on us. Justin Ross got some yards. Amon-Ra, good little 47 yards right there. Jahmyr Gibbs got 37 yards. Jameson Williams, 33 yards. So we ran for 2 touchdowns. Where are the other points coming from? Who allowed sacks? Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell allowed a sack. That's all right. Levante David led the team with tackles. 2 sacks for George Karlaftis. He sacked us twice, but Aiden Hutchinson got our one and only sack. Brian Branch and AJ Terrell both get interceptions. We got a forced fumble from Brian Branch. Brian Branch got an interception, a forced fumble, both in the same game. That's pretty cool. Looking at kicks, Harrison Butker makes one of his 2, and then Justin Reed misses the only field goal he takes. So, hold on a second. So looking at the score, 28-25. How did we get 28 points? We scored 4 times. I'm missing one of the touchdowns then. It had to be another rushing touchdown because you had a touchdown. I thought we only had 2 rush touchdowns. We did, 2 on Gibbs. Where's the 3rd touchdown coming from? I'm sorry, the 4th touchdown. Where's that coming from? Somebody had to have scored. Well, I'm confused. Did you care to explain where that 4th touchdown came from? 'Cause I don't get it. Because Tua threw 1 touchdown. He ran for a touchdown. Gibbs ran for a touchdown. That 1 touchdown he threw that TJ Hawkinson caught. So TJ Hawkinson grabbed the touchdown and scored. Gibbs grabbed the touchdown and scored. No. I don't know. Point is, we won. Who cares? We got our revenge game. I'm happy. And we will do a part 3, which will be basically just a quick little retool of the team. And maybe we'll have some fun. We'll draft some players. I mean, we have a full, whatchamacallit, of draft capital because for the sake of keeping the team the same, we traded all our draft picks. So we don't have any, like, it's not like we had our actual draft capital. So we have the 14th pick from the Falcons, 27 from Cincinnati, 28 from San Francisco, our own 32. And then we also have plenty of other picks we can use if we want to try to do something funny. Like try to trade into the draft and get like I don't know, whatever the hell we want, really, to be honest with you. What we will do now also is while we're here, let's take a look at the awards. Is it under league history? Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah. So Super Bowl MVP Brian Branch with his forced interception, his forced fumble, and I'm going to actually assume that maybe he got that other defensive touchdown that just didn't show up on the scoreboard. But yeah, I'm really happy we did this. Obviously, Dan Campbell wins Coach of the Year. We do it for Brad Holmes. It's a good time. So before I end the video, the only other thing I'm going to do real quick is just go into the first week and see if I could re-sign Aleem McNeil. And then I'm just going to quickly get to the free agency part so I can pick up part 3 there. But that's really all I have left to do for this specific part of the thing. Obviously, I can't re-sign everybody. And if we're going to do a retool season, like, I can accept the player option on Aiden Hutchinson, of course. I can accept the player option on Jameson Williams, of course. We got to pay Aleem McNeil. That's a good offer. Glad to hear it. We're going to have to let go of Matthew Betts. It was cool bringing him in for a year. Kenny, you weren't really originally on my board to begin with. I don't really have the money for Brock Wright, but if I can make the money, I'll bring him back. Mike Hilton, as much as I like you, we have a full cornerback room. Same thing with Marcus Davenport. Same thing with Derek Barnes. Iffy, it would make sense to make the money to bring back Iffy, but I can also just draft someone in place of Iffy. So I guess that's really all I have to do. Just to pique my interest, I just want to see who's available in free agency. And then I'm going to make one trade just so I can, I don't know, maybe for a thumbnail, put a picture of a trade. So Wyatt Teller, Chase Young, A lot of very good players. I'm not gonna have the money to sign any of them. So the only move I'm really gonna make is in the draft. And let me see exactly how many spots I'm gonna have available. Because it says I have a 56-man roster. I should not have a 56-man roster. I'm sure I have some players on this team who I actually don't plan on keeping. Like these three random corners who are on my practice squad. I'm just gonna send them to the Bills real quick, so I don't have to spend the time cutting them. And I just want to see how many spots I'll have available in the draft to get at that many players. And I only plan on doing one more season too, by the way, so I might just trade for that many picks. Like we have Tua, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford. Okay, doesn't make any sense to go get another quarterback. We have my 3 running backs already. I don't know why we have a fullback right now. Amon-Ra's hurt, but he's still on the team. He's just hurt, so you can't see him right now. I mean, we can have as little as 46 players on the team if we don't want to draft people, but I think it'd be fun to do a draft in the next episode and see what happens, see who we are able to get, see if we can get any hidden development, interesting players. We probably are going to want to draft a receiver, but that's not bad. I like Corby Sorsdale. He can stay. What? Oh, Bullet. I said your last name was bullshit. I was like, I mean, it probably is too, but... Wing. Alright, anybody else? Alright, left end looks good. D tackle looks good. DJ Reader's healthy now. Aiden Hutchinson should be healthy this time. Alright, that should be it. So we have 9 million to work with here. So if we did want to try to bring back some of our, our guys like Iffy and stuff, we could. So we could put a total of 9 guys on this roster. So let's just quickly see how high I can move up in the draft without giving up any of my favorite players. So only using draft picks. I mean, I still have a assortment of draft capital, so it really should not be that difficult. Like if I wanted, I don't know, the Broncos have pick 1. I don't see why I would trade up for pick 1, but if I wanted to move up and get, I don't know, maybe like, you know what, actually, what would it take for pick 1? Hey, Broncos, what would it take for pick 1? No, that's not happening. I'm going to start off with offering you 14, because that's the most valuable first round pick I have this year, and we'll follow it up with the next year first round pick. Yeah, it's definitely doable. I actually like drafting pick 32, 28, 27. I actually don't even want to give up those picks, if I'm being honest with you. I'll give up a second round pick. Actually, no. Give up future first round picks. We're not going that far in the future anyway. Yeah, just give up like the plethora of whatever the hell picks these are. Just offer them. It don't matter. I don't need them. I don't need a 2027 first round pick if I'm not going that far into the future. We can give up a 2027 second round pick. It doesn't even matter. Here you go. And pick 1. Just like that. New title of the video. Obtaining the first round pick and winning the Super Bowl. Challenge completed. But anyway, yeah. So fun fact, by the way. I said I had 9 million. Now it says I had 3 million. That's factoring in the fact that I got the number 1 pick. It's in counting the cap space for the number 1 pick in that trade. That's why the cap space changed. I don't know if anyone else has ever noticed that. That's a cool little fun fact I found out. I mean, I knew that for a little while ago, but I remember watching some YouTube videos where people were like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And the game is ahead of it for you, but at the same time, I can still see why that'd be annoying. Because it doesn't tell you it's going to do that. It just kind of does it. So I'll give you my next year first round pick for pick 23. I will also give you a second round pick. I will also give you a third round pick. I will also give you a 5th round pick. Correction. I will also give you a 6th round pick. Actually, I have so many 5th round picks. You could just have one. That's still a 6th round pick, but you can have it. Here, have another 6th round pick. Oh, never mind. What I meant to say was have another 5th round pick. There you go. Pick 23. It's for me. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna go right to the draft, and I'm just gonna draft 10 people or 9 people or whatever, however many people I can draft. I'm just gonna draft them. I'm not gonna look at any mock drafts. I ain't gonna look at nothing. I'm just gonna draft whoever the hell I feel like it. Because if you have freaking 8 first round picks, well, I don't have 8 first round picks, but if you have like at least 5 first round picks, you draft whatever you want. And quite, you know what? I will look at one mock draft just because I'm curious. I'm not gonna draft whoever they tell me to draft, but I am gonna be curious to see who they tell me to draft. Avery Johnson, B tackle, A finesse moves. Interesting. Okay. Mr. Thorne. I don't need a quarterback. Trevor Dickerson. Joshua. Peter Conway. Huh. A lot of things I really, really don't need. Shelton Little's probably a good quarterback, but I don't need one. Jaden Peoples is probably good. Don't really need. Well, to be fair, we already know I don't need anything. But yeah, screw it, yellow. I'm going to make every pick in this draft. Alright, hopefully this doesn't screw me. Alright, who do we draft with the first pick of the draft? They said to draft Avery Johnson. He is a top 5 player. Good tackler, LSU. He's got elite acceleration. I'd like to see it. This linebacker's great too. He's just not good at zone coverage. So ideally, you could just take him and put him at the edge rusher. You're not the best at block shedding, but that's something you could learn to get better at as a speed rusher. So I'm just gonna take Avery Johnson. Yeah, they do be like that. I only actually really want to pick 9 players because then I don't want to deal with the problem of having too many people. Joshua Young. Barry Davis. I don't even need a receiver, but only because your name is Barry Davis. I'm a Barry Sanders fan. I'm taking Barry Davis. I did talk about the potential of needing one more depth receiver anyway. And at this point, when you have this many picks, you could just take whatever the hell's available at that point. Like, we have so many picks, it don't even matter. A center. Yeah, give me Joshua Young. Give me Joshua. I know it just says Josh. I'm calling him Joshua. So we drafted a center, a receiver, a defensive player. I actually do need a 3rd tight end now that I let Brock Wright go. So Tevin Hunter, you're the boy, man. Come here, Tevin. Sure. I'm extremely efficient. Okay, what else could we use here? A depth safety is actually kind of a need we have. So if we want to take any of them, I mean, Dave James is kind of a boring name, but we do need a safety. But there's like 3 other safeties ahead of him though. Why is that? You have the potential of having F coverage. I'd rather just take Dave James then. Let's take Dave James. He's gonna be where Iffy was. It's an Alabama product. We're continuing the Brad Holmes recent love for Alabama players. Give me I don't need another tight end. Give me Earl Bernard. Let's draft 2 safeties. Yeah, you would think that would have been the safest pick I made. But it's... Alright, Yep, we are indeed on the clock. Still could technically use a corner, I guess, but I drafted a receiver already. I mean, Lamar Strong looks like the next best available player. Yeah, give me Jamar Strong then. We'll go BPA, man. Go BPA. Out of Michigan State. Hey, there you go. My boy out of Michigan State right there. You're damn right we are. We're gonna take, no, no, no. I mean, I guess a linebacker would be the next thing worth taking. Not necessarily saying that these are the best linebackers to take, but might be reaching. But we're gonna take Deron Ware. Levante David went down in overall, and I don't know. We seem to have a lot of injured linebackers. Antoine Weaver, Gerald Hooks, Mississippi, Florida, Texas. Who do we take now? Scheiße. Let's take Chase Jackson. No, actually, let's take DeJean McGee. Yeah, let's take DeJean McGee. I had a sandwich earlier with Dijon mustard, so I took Dijon McGee. Also, I was thinking of Cooper DeJean just recently. When I was making my mock draft, that's why. Sergio Herring, he was at Michigan. Damn. We missed out on a Michigan guy. That hurts. But we're not missing out on 2 Michigan guys. Give us Keegan Harrington. We're getting another Michigan guy. No, it's a very unnecessary pick by me, if I'm being honest with you. Is this our last pick? Alright. Our last pick is round 4, pick 32. I may have drafted too many people, but it's okay. Don't even need Perry Linton. But I'm not completely against taking him. Depth O-lineman, I guess, is really the last thing I could think about drafting. Yeah, depth O-lineman is really the last thing I can think about drafting. So, there's so many not of those available. I see a lot of running backs. You're bad at run blocking, and there's no point in taking someone who's bad at run blocking. However, Jermaine Patton's going to be the guy. We get an O-lineman. There we go. Problem solved. O-lineman out of Clemson. Love to hear it. We'll take a look at the draft recap. We'll see what happens, and we'll call it a day. So part 3 is now part 2 extended. Because we're not doing another season after this. This is it, boys. We won year 2, so that all comes down to year 3. So our first overall pick was a 77 overall. The receiver we drafted 23rd was a 73 overall. We drafted a 74 overall center, 70 overall tight end, 74 overall safety, a 74 overall safety, a 76 overall corner, a 74 overall middle linebacker, a 74 overall outside linebacker, a 67 overall edge, and a 66 overall guard. I know we didn't get the best player in the draft because usually 77 is not the best. Usually at least 180 or one higher or 70. Yep, there's an 81 overall corner, Trevor Dickerson, who we missed out on. We also missed out on Oscar Flowers. We also missed out on Manuel Bates, who's a corner. So A lot of really good corners. George McCain. Sorry, Reggie McCain. I don't know why I said George. Um, the best player to not be in the first round was Gerald Hooks, the receiver out of Mississippi State. I did consider taking Gerald Hooks once upon a time. I was going to make a Hook 'em Horns joke because I watch a lot of Bengal. But I missed out on that joke. I mean, Mississippi State's not the Hook 'em Horns, it's Texas. But just because it said Hooks, I was going to make that joke. But we got a great value pick with Lamar Strong, so I guess I can't complain. Anywho. Run it back one more time. Run it back for the one time. And hopefully we can repeat, win one more Super Bowl, and then call it a day. That's the hopes. We have to cut 2 people. It's probably going to be the guard and other guy I drafted. Probably going to be those 2. No, I'm not trading these guys. I'm good. We have a 99 overall offense. We chillin'. We chillin'. It's probably going to be the 66 overall guard I drafted. Yeah, Keegan. I'm going to move Keegan to the practice squad. And, I mean, I guess I can move Kobe Sourcedale to the practice squad. I don't want to cut Khalif Raymond. I drafted Barry Davis because I was thinking of Barry Sanders. I'm not going to get rid of him. Where's the other offensive lineman I drafted who was kind of mid? I mean, I did get a better center. That is true. Jermaine Patton. Alright. I guess we'll practice squad Kobe Sourcedale then. That way I at least don't have to cut him. Yeah, we'll just do that then. Alright, cool. We face the Chiefs frickin' again. That's lovely. I wonder if it will come full circle. Will we beat the Chiefs by 4? If we beat the Chiefs by 4, this is becoming very full circle moment right now. And then we play them in the Super Bowl and beat them by 5. Alright, so we have Tristan Wirfs, Jordan Mailata, still Shaq Mason. Backup center is now Josh Young, the center we drafted. We have Owenu as a backup. We have Laporta. We drafted a hidden development tight end to be our third tight end because Brock Wright didn't resign. We have Michael Pittman Jr. We have Jameson Williams. Barry Davis, the receiver we drafted. Quarterbacks are all still here. Same running back core. Receivers practically the same outside of Khalif Raymond getting benched. DB looks the same for now, outside of the fact that Iffy left, so we drafted Bernard. We have McGee, Fodasan Liticon. Plenty of good defensive guys we could use. Avery Johnson was the #1 overall pick, and we're not even going to start him, so that's kind of funny. Corner's great. We drafted Lamar Strong, who's good. Bryant Branch was elite. So yeah, our team's good. Our team good. This time, we're not even going to sim to the midseason. We're going to go full win now. We won a Super Bowl, and the Lions have never been to a Super Bowl, so that was already an achievement. If we don't win this year, it just sucks to suck. It is what it is. It'd be great to go. It'd be great to like just keep going until you don't win, but I don't think this team actually has that kind of longevity. Just because with all the guys we have under contract, we're not going to be able to actually keep everybody. And if this is a team of my favorite players, not having Aiden Hutchinson would kind of annoy me. It wouldn't really even be a franchise of my favorite players then, so. Anywho. Man, it's a good thing this franchise was online, otherwise it takes like a year to simulate. So we go 16-1 again. We actually could have gone 17-0, but we lost the last game of the season to the Ravens. So overall, as a team, we were first in scoring again, which is awesome. We were second in offensive passing yards. We were 11th in running. First in terms of not allowing points. We've only allowed 16 points a game. We were sixth in terms of defensive passing yards, and we were second in terms of rushing attempts allowed. So, ideally, we should be the best team in the league. Ideally. The Vikings are the worst. Well, you know what? Even if we don't win the Super Bowl, that right there is a win to me. That right there alone is a win in my book. All right, we'll take a look at the schedule. At the beginning of the year, we what? Oh no, sorry, I'm looking for my team schedule. Okay. I'm stupid. There we go. Regular season. Oh, we beat them by 6. That's not 4. So it wasn't a complete full circle moment. We only beat the worst team in the league by a touchdown. We only beat the Steelers by a touchdown. We only beat the Panthers by 2. Destroyed the Commanders. Destroyed the Eagles. Destroyed the Bengals. Obliterated the Bears. Destroyed the Giants. Confidently beat the Bears again. The Packers being the only team to beat us last year didn't beat us this year. We destroyed the Browns. Demolished the Packers again. Still only beat the Vikings by a touchdown, and we lost to the Ravens by a field goal. Okay. Take that with a grain of salt. Seahawks, my least favorite team in the entire NFL. So hopefully that's not the game we lose. Alright, we win 27-9. Our revenge game for the Lions against the 49ers would make me ecstatic. And we do. We beat them by a field goal. Now we take on the one team that we lost to in the regular season and ultimately see if we can get one more revenge game, and that is beating the Ravens. Alright. So we're going to do this one slightly differently. I am going to check the stats, but since this is the final season, no matter what, I'm going to jump into the game and sim and watch what happens. To a degree. I'm not going to stage narrate everything, but just for the ending of the video to make it fun, I'm going to do that. So Tua, 47-4, Jared Goff 2-2. Tua had a better season this year. Gibbs, significantly less touchdowns. Monty took the touchdowns, but Gibbs got to his 1,000 yards. Tua ran still. James Conner still was involved. Laporta got used in the run game here and there. Amon-Ra, 19 touchdowns and 1,400 yards. He had the Brandon Ayuk season this year. T.J. Hawkinson with 15 touchdowns had the Travis Kelce season. Mike Evans was good. Michael Pittman was good. Gibbs was used a lot more. A lot more distribution of the football. Love to see it. Sack numbers were a little bit higher this year for our tackles, but that's okay. Levante David back-to-back 106 tackles. Aiden Hutchinson this year was the big sack monster. Last year, Max Crosby got 25. This year, Max Crosby got 12, and Aiden Hutchinson got the 20-plus sacks. So, a good spread. 7 interceptions for A.J. Terrell. Buda Baker did good. Brian Branch did good. Fotis Analyticon did good. And Jamal Adams all got involved. Justin Reed with an amazing 6 for 9. Love to see it. And my boy, Jack Fox, is still a Silver Fox out there. So looking at the yearly stats, we still don't win MVP because they want to give it to Patrick Mahomes. Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year. Brandon Ayuk, back-to-back Offensive Player of the Year, beating out Amon-Ra. Michael Parsons, back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year, beating out Aiden Hutchinson. I don't care about you people, but this time we get the best quarterback. Kenneth Walker wins best running back. Brandon Ayuk wins again. Chris Lindstrom wins again. Michael Parsons wins again. This time it's Joe Tyron for the best linebacker, so he beats out Levante David, who won last year. AJ Terrell wins best DB, so he wins this year. And we'll just look around the league. Was there any crazy stats in terms of who dominated? Maybe, maybe not. 47-5 is more than 47-4, so you got me there, and a higher completion percentage. So, fair enough. Can't hate on it. That's fair. Jonathan Taylor leads the league in rushing yards. Kenneth Walker leads the league in rushing touchdowns. Amon-Ra leads the league in receiving yards, but Ayuk still had more touchdowns. Ayuk's touchdowns numbers have been literally insane. 142 tackles for Kaiser White. Uh, Parsons Parsons does outbeat Aiden Hutchinson, so that's fair. AJ Terrell leads the league in picks, and the most kicks was made by Will Litz. All right. So again, just gonna jump into the game, but we're not gonna play it. I'm just gonna jump in, watch the play-by-play, see if anything really cool happens. Um, can I get the classic black ones in honor of the Detroit Lions' new unis? Yeah, give me that one. You guys can wear your purple. You're a home team. Wear your purple. Let's just sim the first quarter and see what the score is. Alright, pretty even. Go quarter two. Quarter three. Um. Lamar Jackson passes for 4 yards. 6 yards to Mark Andrews. Rushes for 2 yards. Runs for 6 yards. Lamar Jackson sacked by Alex Anzalone. Lamar for another 3 yards. Lamar Jackson passed it to Antone Torrance for 27 yards. Ooh, Carlton Davis playing some good defense at corner. 10-yard penalty against the offense. They fuck up there, but they pass it to Torrance again. And then Brian Branch knocks away the pass. They have to punt. Oh, they don't have to punt. They go for a 27-yarder. They get to the goal line. They pass to Mark Andrews. They aren't able to score just yet. Lamar Jackson does get sacked for 8 yards back. They run 4 yards forward. They're at the goal line, 4th and goal. Lamar Jackson passes to fullback, and they score. Lamar Jackson to the tight end, Charlie Kohler, for a touchdown. Okay. Gibbs gets a 3-yard run, 2-yard run to David Montgomery, 5-yard to T.J. Hawkinson. They decide to punt. They don't get aggressive. They don't do a Dan Campbell. Lamar Jackson passes to Torrance again for 16 yards. 15-yard penalty against the defense. Yeah, screwing the Lions in the fourth quarter. Sounds about right. Pass dropped by Mark Andrews. That's big. A 3-yard run. They get all the way to the goal line with a 20-yard pass to Mark Andrews. And they are not able to force overtime, so the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl. An 82 complete. Alright, so the score was tied in the first quarter. We took a big lead. Unfortunately, in the fourth quarter, we did a Lions where we weren't able to completely hold the lead, but we never lost the game. That's what's important. The total yards, we had more. Rushing yards, they had more. We were both pretty effective in the red zone. There were some penalties. It is what it is. Tua at almost 350 passing yards, no picks, played amazing. Lamar played very good as well. Lamar had the most rushing yards, him and Derrick Henry. Gibbs had 9 rushes for 46 yards. David Montgomery punches in for a touchdown, 3 rushing attempts for 9 yards. Love to see it. We passed the ball to Hawkinson 10 times. Um, that Antone Torrance guy who they drafted was good. Amon Ra gets 2 touchdowns and 136 yards. Mike Evans gets a touchdown. Our receiving core really picks up what they need to do for us to win games. Only Taylor Decker allows a sack. Trenton Simpson leads the team in tackles. Aiden Hutchinson gets 2 tackles, 2 sacks to be specific. And Justin Tucker misses the only kick that he took. So in conclusion, those are all very, very good, and we basically, we go out as champions. The only other thing I'm gonna look at now is who won MVP. Was it Tua? Was it Amon Ra? Was it Aiden Hutchinson? Could have been any of them, to be honest with you. And the 2025 Super Bowl champs Detroit Lions beat the Ravens. The MVP was Pat Mahomes. The coach of the year was Dan Campbell. Offensive player of the year was Brandon Ayuk. Defensive player of the year was Michael Parsons. And the rookie of the year was for the Bills. Defensive rookie of the year was for the Browns. Your MVP is Tua Tagovailoa. Last year was Brian Branch. This year could have been Aiden Hutchinson. Also could have been Amon Ra. But we're going to give it to Tua Tagovailoa, who had 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, an 80 completion percent rate. And our defense, yeah, okay, we let the Ravens score a few times at the end. But we came through, we won. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and your GM, which is I, Saj Mahal, come victorious with my favorite team. So looking at the final product of what they are before we get rid of the franchise and call it a day, this is our team. X Factor Tua Tagovailoa, X Factor Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Jameson Williams. These guys are all still here. Our running back core is good. We never got to a superstar, but that's okay. We got T.J. Hawkinson to X Factor, him playing next to Laporta and Tevin Hunter, the tight end we drafted. Our O-line, Frank Reich now becomes a superstar. Development, the O-line's looking good. And on the defensive side of the ball, A.J. Terrell is a superstar. He got 7 interceptions. Brian Branch is a superstar. No other really huge developments, but Aiden Hutchinson completely deserves the dev increase. He should probably maybe be an X factor. Jamal Adams goes off. Kirby Joseph goes off. Hassan Reddick was nice to have. Jack Campbell does well with Levante David being gone. I don't know if Levante David either retired or if he got injured, but I don't see him here right now. So the defensive situation here was perfectly fine. It was covered. Our rookies slid in perfectly for depth, and Buda Baker was good. And that is going to conclude what I'm going to call my favorite franchise of the year, because it had my favorite players. Not because it was the best franchise I've done all year. I actually don't even know what I would define as the best franchise I did all year, but that was my favorite franchise I've done this year. To anyone who watched, thank you. And have a good rest of your day. Let's enjoy the draft tonight. Peace.